and Senator Bonasek and the Association of Towns, our state representatives in the Association of Towns. I brought this up at the State Magistrates Association. This is only affecting, that's the State Association of Town and Village Judges that I'm really involved in. This only affects a couple counties that don't have a DA that prosecutes the ticket. So right now they're taking a little wait and see attitude to see if it passes. However, for us, it's up to you all whether you want to pass it, but it's going to have an immediate impact on our court, and it's going to have an immediate impact on the Town Boa Police Department. And it's going to have an immediate impact on citizens, no matter if they're from town or from wherever else, because if they want to maintain their innocence through a traffic ticket, you don't have to come back once, you got to come back twice. It penalizes you for having the chutzpah to say, prove it, which is your constitutional right.
Okay. Ronnie is, I assume, is of the same?
Yeah. Yes, he is. He's on vacation this week, but I talked to him about it before he left.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from any of you folks? Okay, resolution number 8, 2012, Town of Olive opposing the proposed amendment of the B&T law, section 1806. Whereas the Town of Olive Justice Court on average resolves over 1,000 cases each year. And whereas many of the cases heard by the Town of Olive Justice Court involve violations of the New York vehicle and traffic law, such as speeding, operating a vehicle while on a cell phone, passing on a right, passing in a no passing zone, failure to use a seatbelt, etc. And whereas Ulster County, most vehicle and traffic law violations are prosecuted by the police officer who issued the uniform traffic ticket. And whereas presently, if an individual pleads not guilty in writing to a violation of a vehicle and traffic law, they are notified of an appearance trial date by the Town of Olive Justice Court. And whereas at the appearance trial date, if an individual and citing officer cannot agree upon a resolution of the alleged violation, the Town of Olive Court holds a non-jury trial that same evening, wherein the officer has to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And whereas traffic and vehicle and traffic law violations whereon an individual previously plead not guilty are thereby resolved in a single court appearance in the Town of Olive Court. Whereas Andrew Como 2012 Executive Budget, Public Protection and General Government Article Number 7 legislation, Part 3, Part C, proposes to amend vehicle and traffic law section 1806 to require that a defendant be provided an appearance date, and if the matter is not resolved at that appearance date, a separate trial date for all alleged violations of vehicle and traffic law. Whereas the proposed amendment places an undue burden on the town and village justice court by requiring an additional court appearance if an individual maintains his or her not guilty plea and requests a trial, instead of holding a trial on the same date. Whereas the proposed amendment also penalizes individuals charged with a violation of vehicle and traffic law by requiring them to make an additional court appearance, and if they maintain their innocence and decline to accept the plea bargain, and whereas the appearance date will be meaningless for matters involving New York State Police, because New York State Police are forbidden by their superiors to engage in any agreement of any plea bargains. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Olive Town Board opposes the proposed amendment of the B&T law, section 1806, because it serves no useful purpose in that it would slow the timely resolution of cases in the Town of Olive Justice Court docket by mandating at least 2 court appearances for all vehicle and traffic law violations, and it is unfairly penalized an individual who desires to maintain their innocence in a minor traffic offense because the offense could no longer be adjudicated in a single court appearance. Now therefore be it resolved that a copy of this resolution be mailed to Governor Andrew Cuomo, Senator John Bonisick, Assemblyman Kevin Cahill, and the Association of Towns. You want to take a roll call, please?
Yes, and there was a second.
Second.
Board Member Van Buren?
Yes.
Board Member Burkhardt?
Yes.
Board Member Lamonda?
Yes.
Board Member Friedel?
Yes.
And Supervisor Lightfoot?
Yes. Charlie, you gonna talk to us tonight?
Sure. This is a copy of the petition. Can I ask Councilman Friedel to make a copy for everyone of that? Only because he's the only one that ever responds to me. The petition was filed in Supreme Court today. As you can see, you'll be receiving it in the mail by certified mail in a couple of days. And they're going to assign a judge, and then we're all going to get together. And we'll chat about all these little issues. And that's it. So, you know, I don't have to really be here. I'm not writing for the paper anymore. So when all this settles out, I'll come back. In the meantime, you know, we'll see each other then, on the other side.
When do we know what you're talking about? Is that it, sir?
Yeah, that's a petition. You'll get it certified mail in a couple of days. It's answerable in state Supreme Court, and it's self-explanatory. Your attorney, you know, can explain it to them. Anyway, with that, have a nice evening. Thank you all.
The Hurricane Irene, who has done more damage than you can see, brought up a point that we were working on for many years. And always, it was like a windshield wiper on your car. When it don't rain, you don't need it. Well, we need generators to take care of the highway department as well as my office somewhere down the road, so we can function. Mainly in the highway department is to keep the fuel pumps running and keep things moving. So we had an electrician look at our needs. We have the specs of what we have to do, what size generator and what have you, but it still has to go out to bid. So I really don't want to hit the budget with all 3 of these because I believe it amounted to $46,000. And we can take this piece by piece as we see how things go. But we talked about this last night at the audit meeting, and we thought the most important one would be the town highway garage. I think we still feel that way. So I would like to make a motion empowering the, I guess the supervisor to apply for bids and see what we come up with and then ask your permission to go do it.
Now, that's just for the garage or for all of them?
No, just the garage.
How much do we have in the capital reserve?
I don't know, I didn't get a chance to look at that yet.
Because if we have the money, we really should do this. We just keep putting it off and putting it off and never get finished.
Well, let me tell you something. You've got a few other things that are not resolved with FEMA yet that have big numbers. One are the gas tanks and the other is the landfill. We don't know what they're gonna pay, if anything. So I would like to see what they do.
The landfill's a separate capital reserve account.
Yeah, so what?
So why?
It's still,
We have it.
it's still money out of your, they've been complaining